So I woke up this morning feeling scared, excited, overwhelmed, just like a multitude of feelings. So I figured I would sit down and share this video with you. I haven't done anything for a while, so I'm gonna go ahead and share what's going on with me. If you're new here, then my name is Khalidah. My channel is Fearless Over 50, where I share my journey of reinventing myself and just, hopefully share encouragement to other people, other women in my situation who are over 50 and maybe they're too scared, or maybe they're thinking about reinventing themselves or doing something different. So this is a platform to share. All right, so first of all, why am I leaving the US? Lots of people are asking me why I'm leaving the US. People are like, oh, is it because of Donald Trump? Is it because of this? Is it because of that? No, me leaving the US is something that's been in the works for a long time now. It took me 18 months to get licensed to teach in the UK. I had to save money, make plans. I'm really leaving because I want to go and be close to my grandchildren. I also have my mom who is getting up there in age, and I just want to be around my family. My son is there, my grandchildren are there, my sisters are there, and basically my whole family's there. And so I just want to spend some time with my family while I'm still young enough to appreciate it. So I decided that I'm going to go to England. Initially, my plan was to rent somewhere in the UK. I looked into renting. You had to give 6 months deposit, or you had to have a job, one of the two. I don't want to give anybody 6 months deposit. That's just a lot of money. The cheapest place that I've seen is like a 2-bedroom apartment, £1,300 a month, which is about $1,500, maybe $1,600 a month. Times that by 6, I don't want to spend that kind of money. So I'm not going to be renting right now. So instead, thanks to the people around me, I'm going to house sit. So I am now on a website called Trusted House Sitters. I will drop the link down below. I've made my profile and I've been signing up for house sits. It's been really good, actually. One of the reasons why I never signed up before is because there's a Muslim house sitting for dogs, because in my mind it was just dogs, and I'm like, I don't know if I can deal with that. But I spent a week with a friend who it was house sitting for a little dog. She was a little small dog, a little lap dog, and it really wasn't too bad. We both had mutual respect for each other, the dog and myself, and I found it really easy to do. So I've decided, I'll go ahead and I'll sign up. So I've signed up. I have a pet sit the day that I land. And my first one, I think, is for 5 days. Then I go from that pet sit to another pet sit for 12 days. Then I have a 1-night break. Then I go to another pet sit for another 2 weeks. Then I have a 2-night break. Then I go to another pet sit for another 2 weeks. I'm basically booked from the 14th of July through to the 27th of September with a couple of gaps. But for the most part, I've got 3 months booked. So that's really exciting. My whole accommodation issue is done. I don't have to worry about accommodation anymore. The other thing that I've been thinking since I've decided to do this is, well, why don't I just pet sit, house sit for a year, save some money, and then I can go ahead and, buy a place, buy a small place. I don't even mind buying a tiny house, just buy something small after like maybe a year. So that's something that I'm definitely thinking about. The next thing is that my house hasn't sold here yet. So we are apparently in a buyer's market and not a seller's market, which means I've had probably about 13 people come view the house, and no negative feedback, right? Most of it is really positive feedback. Some people don't like the neighborhood. I think I've had one person doesn't like, 2 people don't like the neighborhood. But for the most part, people like my house. But, like there's so much choice right now that, I haven't had anyone even make an offer on the house. So that's also, had an impact on what I'm deciding to do in terms of going to the UK, because the funds that I thought I was going to have available are not available to me right now. So I'm kind of having to switch to a plan B. I don't want to, be selling out of desperation. So, because I just, I'm not there. So that is definitely a factor. House not sold yet. I have applied for jobs in the UK. I have this agency that is, working on getting me teaching positions. Apparently, the education in the UK they've had some cuts, and this summer has been unusually slow in terms of openings. They've been kind of trying to get me to go to a different side of London that has a lot of vacancies, but I don't want to live over there. So I guess because of the choices I'm making, I haven't really had that many offers. I did have an interview that somebody wanted me to do, but they wanted me to do an online lesson, right? I had 3 days to prepare for this online interview, and part of the interview was I had to teach a group of students that I've never met before via Zoom a lesson. And it was just, I accepted the interview, and then as I was thinking about it and I was processing it, I was like, I don't want to do all of this. That's a lot, and I don't want to do all of that. I don't even know if I want to be in a classroom anymore. I don't know if I want to lesson plan and grade and all of these things that is required of me as a teacher. I don't feel like I want to do all of that anymore. So I told them I wasn't going to do the interview. I didn't do the interview, and I'm not sure that I want to teach. I think I want to be in education, but I don't want to teach. So I'm kind of putting that on pause. Don't want to get back into the classroom. I've applied for a couple of other positions that I thought were really cool and were really exciting, and I got feedback on a few of them, but then when they realized that I wasn't in the UK anymore, then they were like, oh no, you need to be here. So pause, stopped applying for jobs. I will do that when I get to the UK, which I shall be flying in a couple of days, hence my anxiety and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, no job right now. So what is my working plan? So my working plan for next year is house sit for a year, save some money, move around, house sit in different places in the UK so that I can decide where it is I actually want to put down some roots, and eventually save some money and buy a tiny house. That's the plan. How am I feeling? To be honest, I am, even as I'm doing this video, I kind of feel like my heartbeat, my heart is kind of a bit swollen with kind of fear or anxiety, or I don't know what you call it, but there's definitely something going on with me. But at the same time, there's a level of excitement and a level of freeness that I feel like I am not worried about having to go back to school in 21 days. I do not have to show up for staff orientation on the 1st of August, and that feels really good. I am not scanning the internet looking for the latest ideas of how to present education to 5th graders. So that part is exciting, but there's a lot of unknown quantities right now. There's a lot of things that I'm not sure how they're going to pan out, and that kind of makes me feel a little bit scared because I'm a teacher. I lesson plan. I plan everything out. Everything, from the beginning of the lesson to the end of the lesson. And I plan for all the variables. And I feel like I don't have a plan. So that's kind of a bit scary. But I do have a plan, because my plan is to go and house sit, right? So that's a plan. So yeah. So anyway, this is Khalidah, Fearless Over 50. And, this is my update. It's okay to be afraid. I am definitely afraid. So I don't know what's happening with you. Have you started over? Are you starting over? What you doing? Are you, anybody house sitting? Anybody thinking about house sitting? Is this a good plan? Is it not a good plan? If you have any feedback, if you relate, you want some advice, you want to share some advice, you can like, subscribe, and hit the share button. And inshallah, I will give you an update again soon. Assalamu alaikum.